types of wrong. I love my pops. Through penitentiary, drug addiction, and misery, you defeated the enemy. I love my pops. 20-some odd years, right on my little sister's tears, she misguided. But where was my pops? Tupac to tell us he was running from his demons, and we thinking that nothing could ever budge my pops. But I used to wonder what put my moms under my pops and kept them together for 17 summers. I reminisce in my mind, me and my pops would bond. The time we spent, it never seemed funner. But I remember the day that he left. Him and my mama, they never nurtured their relationship, and it went from Bonnie and Clyde to problems with money and pride. Together they couldn't decide.
The righteous way to go. Little one would know or believe.
So here we are, the name of the song, The Righteous Way.
Yes, sir.
We have changed locations. We are backstage here, Charlie Tuna.
Yeah, Chali.
Matt in the building, a whole bunch of folks. Talk about who you sampled off this record.
Like I said, I sampled Curtis Mayfield. The song is called The Makings of You, and it's the lead or title track or theme song to the old school black exploitation movie Claudine.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know, back in the days, I love that song as it was, but I always wanted to write a song about my family, but from some kind of odd perspective. I didn't know exactly how to do it. So I was in Europe with Jurassic 5, I don't know how many years ago, 8, 9 years ago, in Germany, and I saw the little puzzle of the lady that you can open, and it's a smaller lady inside, and then it's small like that. And I was like, damn, that'd be a cool way to write that song, to tell a story about me, but through the eyes of the 3 most important generations, you know, like my father, my mom, my grandmother, and my son. Like, that'd be cool to unfold it because of all of the similarities that exist. Like, my father's name is Charles, my mom's name is Denise, my name's Charles, my son's mom's name is Denise. You know, the amount of years that it took for us to get it right or break up was the exact same. And just things like that I was trying to avoid, but inadvertently I crashed right into it. So.
You know, let me ask you this. Listening to what you're talking about with this concept, and this kind of dovetails to what we were talking about earlier today. Is today's audience able to appreciate the type of thought that you put into a concept like that? Are they able to appreciate that you went back and dug into a movie like Claudine, you know? Are they able to appreciate you talking about a perspective from multiple generations in an era where very deliberately we have been, you know, mass media at least, tried its best to dumb us down. Do you find that frustrating as an artist who wants to be that adventurous?
Yeah, it's frustrating in a lot of ways, but at the same time, I just, it's kind of like going fishing, man, in a remote lake, you know what I'm saying? Where you know you can't see these fish, but they're out there, you know what I'm saying? And so I just put the thought process into it because of it being the fact that it's the only skill set that I know. It's the only way that I know how to put this down. The way that I was introduced, absorbed, and practiced hip-hop has always been the same. And so because of the newer generations that come in every year, one generation a year, it seems, since I've been doing this, about 20 years now, that comes in that's new to what's going on, that don't know the past of what's going on. So, like me and you were talking about earlier, it's up to a few of us to really step into that leadership position and at least display how it was going on. Do things that lead these new booties back to the path, so to speak. You know, and it's up to them to do what they will with the information that they gather, but it's definitely up to us to display it and give it as an alternative to what's out there, because it's a lot of, like, my favorite saying is, record executives be like 50, 60-year-old people trying to tell 18-year-olds what's cool, you know what I'm saying? And that don't really work.
You know, it's interesting. You being who you are,
right?
Have you ever listened to his material and had to pull him to the side and say, son, you know, you need some help? Charlie Tuna?
No, because one thing I say about Charlie is and contrary to what people know, he's a very meticulous person. With everything he does, from the way he gets dressed, the way he cut his hair, you know, that's his thing. He has to have things so into when he writes his rhymes, and him being an artist, a real artist, like a painter, I think he applies that same method to his music. And he's the type of person where when he goes into the studio, he might record a song 4 or 5 times before he feels he's comfortable. And he never lets anybody tell him oh, this is it, you don't need to go in again. If he feels like he needs to go in again and do it, he'll go in again and do it. So I've never had to pull him to the side because I know that he's his own steckler. He's gonna listen to it, break it down, listen to it, and then he might let me listen to it after he didn't got the 4th version. That's another thing too.
So he don't want you, want to come whack with you.
By the time I hear Charlie tune the record, it's about 4th generation, 5th generation recording. Because I know, see, and I'm tripping him out because he probably thought I never, that's how much he's my boy. So he ain't letting me hear no shit till he feel, okay, now I can let that.
So yeah, he don't want to have you send him back to the drum board.
No.
You know,
but he don't gotta go back to the drum board. He's an accomplished MC.
Well, after 7 tries, he shouldn't.
exactly.
No, I don't mean that. No, when I say that, I mean re-recording. He perfects his song till he has it to the point where he feels he's comfortable. Yes. So I've never had to pull him to the side, you know? I always hit heat when it's time to hear it.
It's funny. I'll bring apples to the teacher like, hey, what do you think?